I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. This is Stop Drinking Alcohol 55. I got a request this week to talk a little bit more about my alcohol quitting journey and stuff. And to be honest with you, I struggle sometimes to find any more things to say about myself on the journey. It's gone beyond quitting alcohol now, and it's all about change for me. It's all about where I'm going to go next. Alcohol is really part of my past. This is where I'm holding on to all the alcohol stuff, is by talking about it and by helping other people go through the same journey that I'm going through. So I don't think about it from a personal level anymore. It is what it is. I just feel like I've changed so much in the last year, and I'm a lazy bastard. If I can do it, anyone can do it. I was reading last night about karma, and that it always struck me in the past as being, a bit woo-woo. It's sort of a bit way out there with the New Age travelers and hippies and all that kind of stuff. And it sort of struck me when this guy was talking about it, and he was saying that karma actually means action. And you're suffering now, or you're going through the stuff now that you're going through because of the stuff that you've done in the past. And I always thought that meant, like it was a good versus bad thing. You're gonna get yours, Jimmy. But it's not. It's, when it boils down to it, it's on a really personal level. It's everything you've done in the past, all the directions that you've taken, all the decisions that you've made, all the choices that you've made, have all led you into the spot that you're in now. And it also bodes for the future that everything that you do now, in this moment, every choice that you make, every decision that you make, is going to lead you into a definitive path in the future, So what you do now is what matters more than anything else. And I just wanted to share that because, it's weird how you get fixated on specific perspectives about things, specific meanings, especially when it comes to language. Language is very, it can have 1,000 different meanings, 1,000,000 different meanings to different people. I go on about language a lot in addiction and quitting addiction, because I think it's such a massive part of what holds people back, as well as what pushes some people forward. So for me at the moment, it's all about looking at my future. So I try and visualize the place that I'm going to be and work my way back from there. So you start with where I want to end up, and then take the steps backwards to see how I'm going to get there. So everything that I do now is about change. It's going to happen anyway. Change is inevitable. Change happens everywhere we go. So it's just a question of who's going to direct the change. Is it you that's going to direct your own change, or is it going to be you're just going to leave it to chance, or you're going to leave it to the bottom of a bottle? As the title of the video suggests, I wanted to talk a little bit about money, how much I've actually saved over the last year since I haven't been drinking. And it's a massive amount, but nowhere near as much as I would have saved if I was back in Ireland. I was working it out, and basically I saved, I lost, I should say, about 50 quid a day, $50 a day, just by days missed from my work. And I don't know what that adds up to. I'll add it up at the end and put it up. But I also spent probably about €60 here a week going out and drinking out, plus another 60 on top of that eating out, when I was drinking, so eating all shitty, crappy foods. And then being in Spain, a lot of wine over here, very cheap. So I probably put about $20 on that, you know, for what I spent on booze to take home. So by not drinking in Spain, I'm saving myself about 12,500 a year. If I was in Ireland, that would be double. I mean, in Ireland I used to spend €300 easy a week in the pub on Guinness, and then it was more expensive then to eat out. And the days when I wasn't working, I was earning really good money working in the forestry in Ireland. So I'd say on average I probably lost about €300-400 a week, more sometimes, because I wasn't going out working. I mean, on a good day in Ireland I'd make 500 easy. The thing about, I used to have a lad working with me, and you know, he was one of the things that really kept me from really falling off the wagon, because I could live off a couple of days work, you know. If I did 2 really good days work, there'd be no problem. But it was because he had a wife and a young family, you know, it just that was pushing all my my ethical buttons, so there was no way I could do that, you know. So he really kept me on the straight and narrow that way. But then he left and got a better job, so I wasn't paying him enough, and it sort of coincided at the time with the forestry industry, everything taking a dump in the market, and people weren't really looking for timber products. The construction industry in Ireland went to shit, and yeah, of course then it's like you don't go out as much because there's not enough money, but there was always enough for drinking. But anyway, the point is that in Ireland, 25 grand a year easily I spent, or I missed out on, because I wasn't, because I was drinking. And when I was thinking about the times that I'd, over the last year since I got here, the first year that I was here, I should say, before I gave up the alcohol, I'd been doing a bit of coding for a while for my own websites, and a lot of article writing. And my brother-in-law is an estate agent. He's a real estate agent, and he asked me to do a website for the rental side of his business, so that people could actually put up their own properties on there, you know, if they wanted to rent them out, without any having to come into the office or anything like that, an automatic thing. And you know, with me it was learning the coding for it, and then doing all the stuff that I needed for that part of it, and then learning some more coding so that I could move it forward. And it took me so long to get up to a certain point, and I just couldn't get myself past that level. My brain was fried with it, and it wasn't just the coding, it was just all the booze. I mean, you sit there and you're so tired. I mean, I think energy-wise, it takes a lot of energy out of me just doing the creative side of anything, you know, more than physical side. You know, I'd feel more tired after doing that. So yeah, I really found it hard to concentrate, and I didn't finish it. And he actually asked me to do another job for him recently, to do a database, and thankfully I had the intelligence enough to go and find somebody in India who can do it a lot better than I can, you know, a lot quicker and a lot cheaper. So we're doing that now, but in the meantime I was digging out all the old files for this thing and looking through them, and just the ideas were just snapping into place. You know, it's amazing how when your brain is really unplugged from the alcohol nipple, that it frees it all up again, and you know, stuff must be working now that was lying dormant for yonks. So so we're off up to a football match tonight. Arsenal playing Southampton, and going to the same bar same people are there. Beforehand, I used to drink maybe 6 or 7 pints. If I got away with it, I would have drank more. But I have a good partner who used to sort of keep me in check. After that, or during the match, I probably scoffed down 2 or 3 packets of crisps, potato chips, also peanuts, and afterwards go for a big greasy burger, chips, French fries, that is, but big thick ones. They tasted nice, but you know, they don't do your heart any good. And tonight, or every time I've gone up now in the last year, it's been maybe a pint of orange juice and a couple of bottles of water. So, whereas before the whole thing was costing me 35, 40 euros a night, now it's a fiver, €5. So, you know, things are a lot cheaper on this side of the fence. Another thing is that, you know, I enjoy everything more. I mean, I went to my sister's the other night and to a housewarming party. It wasn't a big mad one with loads of drink. I mean, there was my other sister with her husband and her 4 kids and my dad and my partner. So we were there was only 1 bottle of wine on the table. But I knew at the end of the day that, you know, there was nothing in the background that was going to stop me from having a good time. What lifts off your shoulders when you know you're not going to drink anymore is the fact that you know there's going to be no more hangovers. You know that there's not going to be no more of that drunken stupidity. No more regrets about that. And there's just going to be no more drunkenness. I mean, when I think back, and I know some people will accuse me of being, of looking through rose-tinted glasses, but when I look back on the times when I was drinking, although the compulsion was to stay, the drunker and drunker you get, you just don't remember it. So, if there is a buzz to it, it's only in the first 2 or 3 drinks, and then it sort of degenerates then into something which is not enjoyment. And I think part of that is to do with your brain knows what's going to happen. You know, your brain knows what's around the corner. It knows exactly what you're facing the next morning. It knows that you're acting like an idiot and you're making a show of yourself. It knows that you've lost self-respect, and all these things weigh down on you. And it's when you quit and you know you've quit that you get this massive weight off your shoulders. You know, that weighs down heavily on anyone, and especially the longer you do it. You know, it's like, I remember Scrooge years ago, the Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens, and Marley's ghost at the beginning, and he came in with all these chains and ledgers strapped to the chains, and there were all the bad deeds that he'd done over the years that had added link upon link upon link, and that's the way you feel. It's just this massive weight. And when you do quit, it's that freedom which is unbelievable. So that must have been the most rambling video that I've ever done. Till next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Onwards and upwards.